Hi. Today I'm going to show how you can use the new frame-by-frame layers to do cleanup on your animation. In this particular example, I have a character that is able to do a body turn, but unfortunately the body contour, the stroke, comes in front of the arm, and I'd like to clean that up. Now, just a quick aside, you can deal with patch layers to try to deal with this and smart bones, but I personally still find dealing with the shoulder joint when I've got both arm motion and body turn to be quite difficult. So if anyone knows how to do that very well, I'd be interested to know. But in any case, it's a good example to show how we can clean something up. Now, for the way mine's set up, I have to go all the way back to frame 0 in order to create the frame-by-frame layers. Now, I'm creating one inside of here, inside of the bone layer. That's actually the wrong way, and I'll show you why in just a second. And I'm going to create another frame-by-frame layer the correct way, which is outside of the bone layer. So let's go back to that area and pick a place, let's say right here, frame 36, where we want to start to clean up. So I'm going to go to my frame by frame layer and click on the plus sign to start my frame by frame. So let me go ahead and zoom in so that I've got a good position. I've already got my style set properly with stroke and fill, and now I'm just going to select the blob tool and start painting right over that stroke that's there. But when I let go, you'll notice that it didn't paint. What happened? Well, if I zoom out, we see that the blob is actually put in the incorrect place, and that's because of positions and scaling that are associated with the bone layer. That's why you don't want to put your frame-by-frame cleanup in the bone layers. Another way to think about it is you want your cleanup to be associated with your entire animation that could have many different characters and layers. So I'm going to delete that layer and go back to the correct way, which is a frame-by-frame layer outside of the bone layer. I'm going to zoom in and do what I just did a second ago and select that blob tool and paint over that area. Now you'll notice that I painted over a little bit too much, so I can just go get the eraser tool and clean it up a little bit. And also, if I press Alt, I can change the shape of my blob tool there. Now in this case, another thing that I notice is this sharp angle I don't want. So I'm going to change to the pencil tool here, and I'm just going to draw a line that's a smoother line there. Go back to my blob tool, and the very nice thing here is that I don't overlap the stroke. So let me undo that, sorry. And I'm going to go back to the eraser and clean up. I went a little bit too far here. And that's the cleanup there. Of course, since they're vectors, I can use all the tools, like I can go in here and use my transformation tool and tweak things a little bit until I get it how I like. Then I just go to the next frame and see, well, I want to change that. I can duplicate if I want to duplicate that layer, and then just come in and clean up a little bit. I can use the the eraser side of my pen and clean up, or just use the transformation tool, however I want to do, and go again to the next layer and continue that process of cleanup. Again, I need to make sure that I always click on creating a new frame or duplicating the frame, whichever way I want to do that. So that's how you do your cleanup. And let me just show you, I've got one that I've already completed, and zoom out and you can see, and let me go ahead and preview, and you can see it looks pretty clean there. Now of course I could spend more time cleaning it up, but I'm just trying to show the technique here. And as you know, frame by frame, you can see it's cleaned up that overlap line. So I hope you find it useful, and I find frame by frame very, very powerful tool for Anime Studio. Really glad they added it.